everyone for joining us. So, and especially Vinod, because you agreed for the online session, which usually you're not comfortable with, but this time you were open to do that. So, we are honored to have you today here. So, Vinod is a distinguished veteran with 21 years of service in the Indian Army, followed by 14 years in the corporate world. And for the past few years, he has been dedicated to the field of mental health. He's a certified counselor, life skills trainer, EFT practitioner, POSH trainer, and mental health advisor to several MNCs. He brings a rare blend of discipline, depth, and compassion. Thank you so much, Vinod. Over to you.
Thank you, Ranjita. That was a wonderful, it is motivating me myself to hear about. And good evening to all. Yeah, today, though I have a military background and I always come up with military stories, but today's story is not about my military life. It has happened something afterwards. Okay, so this is an experience a couple of years back I had at a Tibetan rehabilitation center at Dharamshala. We happened to be there for some particular purpose, and there something which really left a mark in my life and my understanding life and looking towards the various values that we hold. So I like to share in a very small this thing, and I'm not talking anything about the political background or situation, all those things. I'm not discussing anything of that things. I'm only looking at the humane aspect of this particular story. Okay, so this couple of weeks back, a couple of years back, I happened to be in Dharamshala at the Tibetan Rehabilitation Center, and there I come across a fresh batch of refugees who arrived from Tibet. You know, Tibet, even now, from Tibet, a lot of refugees are coming to India, and they come via Nepal, and their first stop is at Nepal, and from there they come to this Tibetan Rehabilitation Center in Dharamshala. From there, they are sent to, after some time, acclimatization and everything, just to settle them down, and they are sent to different settlements. There are around 28 Tibetan settlements all over India, so they are sent there. So seeing them and interacting a little with them, that's what I am going to share here. You know that a bunch of around 28 people came, and most of them, more than almost 50% of them were young kids, around maybe between the age of 3 and 6. Okay, these people were landed up there, and they have reached there. This particular crowd also took almost around 40 days from that place from Tibet to come to here, because most of the time they are coming without the knowledge of the Chinese authorities, with the help of human traffickers. Okay, the traffickers, when we say, we always take the negative sense. Of course, these people are also taking money, but then they are helping also people to come from Tibet to India for various political reasons. People in Tibet, they want to get out of that place and come to India. So these people are reached after so many days of so much of hardship, like the frosty mountains and the weather, frost bites, and they have to walk through the complete distance in the nights and day. They will be hiding somewhere, and at the risk of getting caught by the Chinese authorities anytime or any checkpost. If you get caught, then either you have to bribe them very heavily, or you may lose your life, or you'll be taken to custody, and then you end up in some human farm, organ farms, or somewhere you don't know. So that kind of hardship they have to come through. No food, no proper food, no nothing, and so many. And even I heard that there are some patches in which they get to travel in a truck. And what they're made to do is they make the truck platform. They make a secret chamber. And these children and the people are made to lie flat on their back, and only that much space is there, and they can't even turn left or right. The space is not there. They can't make even a sound also, because when they cut across the checkpost and all those things, even a small sound means they will be detected. And this carry for 4 hours, 6 hours continuous journey lying flat, and then after that they have been pulled out when they reach a safe place. So this particular team had 2 such escapades in the truck, and other time they were traveling. So, that's about the hardship and the food, nothing, all those things. And the worst I felt was the children. I saw them, all young children, and especially one girl I found sitting all alone, aloof. So far in my life, yes, I was in army, and I've seen. I always say I've seen not only life but death also from my close quarter. But here in the eyes, I just couldn't see anything. It was totally wide open eyes and nothing. I could not see any emotion in that eyes. There is no fear also. There is no hope also. Nothing. And we tried to go next to talk to them. They just give a dumb look, and that's the end of it. The elders were, of course, talking, but the children, most of them I found, they're not even walking, they're not eating. They have been literally to be pushed to, when the food is served, they have to be taken, pushed there to force them to eat. And the main reason for that is that, they're too young to understand why they have been subjected to such treacherous journey and other things. But they're already carrying the trauma of their lifetime. So these kids, most of the kids are separate from their parents. Because those who come, the parents have not come. Because these traffickers charge such a heavy amount that the families can't afford to send more than one person. So they feel that at least we are suffering, our next generation should feel the freedom in India. So they decide that one kid, the youngest kid, they try to push across to India. So this family and the children are cut off from the family for the lifetime. Because they can't contact them back, even if they get them, they grow up and all those things, or anybody who come from there, they have no choice of contacting them back, because the moment you contact them back, if the authorities track back them, the families are vanished from the scene. They pick them and that's the end of them. So these people are totally cut off from their family and everyone for their lifetime, and they come here. And the second thing is that there are some people who have been always, they send it to their uncles. There are some uncles and aunties and all, some communication, something through all these people, some contacts and all, and they are sent to them. These uncles and aunties also must be in various settlements. So the parents think that my son or daughter is going to a safe haven, but then most of the time it is not like that. Either uncles, aunties also, yes, some are very lucky, they get to a better place, but then most of them end up doing the domestic work, or even they are pushed into the worst. When I say the worst, you can understand. And many people run away from there, and then this thing. They do get education in India. They get they got a freedom to practice their worship and follow their religion, everything. But then, unfortunately, they are not eligible to get into the government jobs here, and the private job also, not much of. They are not being much preferred. So most of them end up doing all very menial. We know that what they do, menial works and other things they do. So, but then yes, there are still some hopes. Hope in the way the Tibetan organization is doing a wonderful job. They're we all know that their exile government in exile is in Dharamshala, McLeodganj. And they are taking care of them. They're doing it. The settlements also, every settlement have a school up to 12th standard. They can study there only. And afterwards, whatever degree they get is, they got a separate board also now. A CBSE board, Tibetan, there's a separate board, but then it is acceptable in the other universities also. And they get to. In fact, I happen to be there only with the team of Banjara, because all the 28 schools, they have all counselors, all MA, MSc graduates, psychology graduates, and they had come here. So there was a kind of we are just giving them, Banjara was assigned just to refresh their counseling thing and the 5-day classes. For that we went there. So they have been taken care. Once those people who end up in the settlement camp and end up in the right place, they have been taken care, well and good. But still, they're haunting high eyes. What is still there in my mind, that people are subjected to such worst thing. Like many things we take it for granted in life, isn't it? We, like in a place like in India, the freedom to talk or freedom to live and whatever we want to do, all these things are taken absolutely granted. But then when we see these people, that's when we realize how much people are willing to pay for freedom, the idea of freedom. The parents are pushing the children. The people are coming from there, taking all this, only hoping for freedom. They do, to an extent, they get it. And one more thing is that I always feel that the hope, yes, they are coming with hope, but the hope is also supported by faith. Somewhere the faith also play good, because they have tremendous faith in their hope, that His Holiness Dalai Lama. So they feel that when they come to India, at least they get because in Tibet, the Chinese are there doing a kind of a cultural amalgamation and other thing. They are not permitting Tibetans to follow their cultural practices. Though Chinese Buddhism is also there, Tibetan Buddhism are also there, but then they don't. So there are a lot of cultural suppression. There are a lot of economic suppression. So from that, they're coming forward here. So what I want to just sum up that, like, yes, these people, I felt bad, but at the same time, what I felt is that, yes, they are certainly carrying some scars, but at the same time, they're carrying some stories also, the story to be told to everyone, to the world. There are some people who are still struggling for freedom. They are living in the hope. They are ready to undertake any kind of hardship in hope, in search of in the hope of making their life better. Maybe a freedom of tomorrow, where they are, like, hope for a tomorrow, better tomorrow. So that's all I have to share. And any questions, anything? Yes, because I just summed it up because the time limit was there. So anything, any part I want to this thing, I'm most welcome. I think I have another 5 minutes now.
Yes, I still have 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens to them? So did you actually? Thank you first of all so much for sharing this story. I think what stuck with me also was that eyes when you were talking. Probably I'm a visual person. I was trying to think of the situation there because we observe their body language and we get to know when it's a family member. Okay, there's something they're going through. So I was just thinking. So do they get any other kind of support? Because you said you went there for counseling. Is it that you went there to?
Yeah, we went there to give a coaching, like a kind of a counseling skills. And I just touch upon counseling skills to the counselors who are appointed in all the 28 settlement schools.
Okay.
They are come there. So this meeting the refugees was just happened when I was there. They happened to land up there. So that place, they got a lot of accommodation and all those things. So these people travel in a batches of 20, 30 and all. They come various ways and they reach Nepal. So Nepal, this Tibetan settlement only have an office. So they make the entry and other things and all those things, proper documentation, and they're sent it to India. So Nepal to India, they travel in a proper transport and all those things. There the misery ends to an extent in Nepal. Physical misery at least.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, from here, they have been made to stay here for some time. And then, depending upon, like I told you, some relatives and other things, then they are sent you to concerned people. If somebody has come without anything, then they, as per the various considerations, they are sent it to any of the settlement in India. So they go and become a part of things. I think as of around 150,000 Tibetan settlers are there in India right now.
Yeah, I remember one in Bailaguppe, it's near Kushan.
Yes,
so yeah, when we go there, we don't know this side of story. We go as a tourist, we take pictures and things. So this makes me think. Thank you.
Yeah, even one of the counselor, who came there. In fact, two ladies. They were also came to India when they were 3 or 4 year old. So they also shared their stories. What all hardship they have to go through. It is unimaginable. I'm telling you. Even if you make a movie, we will think that it is exaggerated. That's what they have gone through.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to. Sorry, just one comment. I just wanted to say 2 things really stood out for me. 3 things, sorry, that really stood out for me. So one is that eyes, like Ranjita, I know that emptiness, that hollowness.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing that I really like what he said is the hope. It reminded me a lot of the book Man's Search for Meaning. There is this hope. They have this unbelievable hope that makes them survive anything, things that we can't even imagine. It makes them survive. That's the power of hope. I felt like what you said, the faith, the hope. And the third thing that really hit me is gratitude. How much we take for granted. How much we take for granted. I was just born. Forget economically well off, but born free is such a big thing. So thank you. It really affected me a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, the elders in the group are like I mean, you can understand they are full of hopeful and they are very happy they reached here. But as far as the child is concerned, the child is totally lost. He doesn't know. He or she doesn't know why I am being separated from my family, why I have been subjected to all these things, and what I am looking forward, where I am going. There is nothing. So that says that the wide eyes with nothing we could see.
So thank you for sharing, Vinod. Because whenever I text him asking, can you share something, he's always interested. Until and unless he has prior commitments, he's always ready. But online, as Ranjita mentioned, he's not a big fan of online sessions. But I told, please, Vinod, because we have listened to so many stories, army stories, in our office. I mean, in our office premises, when we have offline session, in person human book sessions. But I requested him that I want others who come online, who cannot come to our office or our, if for in-person session, I want them to listen to your stories. And I was thinking it is something related to military, and I was like, okay.
I thought I should move on from military also, because already I left military long time back.
No, but the stories you tell us, because those are the ones which we don't get to know.
Yes,
right. It doesn't come on media. It doesn't. I mean, nobody comes out and talks about it until and unless it's an army officer who has been in that place. He comes and talks about it. We don't get to know.
Yeah, there also I try to see the human being there. Like that's what, whenever I share something, I always pay that aspect, because behind everything, every uniform and every iron curtain, every rule, regulation, everything, there is a man.
Yes.
Behind that, and there are a lot of people behind that man also. So
correct.
Anyway,
it's
thanks.
Army officers' humility. What there's no other word. We can't explain the way they live their life. And it's very inspiring. For us, it is very interesting to know or listen to it. It'll be curious. Oh, what happened next? But you have lived in that situation, which is not at all easy. I mean, refugees' life. You felt really bad for them. But we also feel the same thing, that it's very scary. Rather than saying bad, it's very scary to be in that situation. Even army, or all borders.
Yeah, in army, see, we take it like we have been the army. They are trained for that.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, it's different for us as laymen.
Yes.
Everything is scary to listen to. Even if it is army or the refugee camp stories, it's very scary for us. But you always make sure you bring it to us and tell us. We can always go and we use your stories as example, that okay, one of our friend, he told these stories to us. So it's like first hand we get to listen to it. But and I want to ask, why don't we get to know about these people crossing borders? And it's not illegal. I wouldn't say it's entirely legal, but still, when government is supporting so much and they have settlement places here, they know it. Why doesn't it come out in the limelight or in the media? Why is it like under covers or something? Or is it coming? And I have no idea. I don't know.
See, the thing is that Dalai Lama, that he is running a government in exile from India. The Tibetan policy, India is supporting them. Okay, so and that's the reason India is welcoming, even though people are coming. Because then China is not supporting it. China doesn't want, because Tibet is under the regime of China. So China doesn't want its people to come to India. So they are stopping it. So these people are hiding and coming. Since we are supporting the exile government in exile, we are allowing them to come into, and we are giving them all the kind of facilities and everything to settle here. But officially, yes, there are some issues, like even very recently also, there were something coming up, like China is again objecting to these things and the kind of facilities what we're giving to Tibet and all those things. That also, like when India-China, the cross-border talk were happening, this was also discussed very recently also. So but then India is still supporting that. They're taking a stand and they're supporting it.
Yeah, maybe it's similar to the North Korea refugees coming to South Korea, where they have centers, they support,
Yes.
the government itself supports, but it's not very much in the open.
Yes.
Maybe that's how it works.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Thank you, Vinod.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. It's
Okay,
always a pleasure.
Pramod has a
Yes,
question,
Pramod.
Vinod.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Pramod.
Sorry, I mean, this is not a question for Vinod. I mean, when Ramya was asking that why it is not known, I had recently saw one documentary of North Korean refugees escaping to some other country. I think it's Thailand or somewhere. And from Thailand, they used to go to South Korea. But as soon as this was published and North Korea got to know, okay, there is this way where they can escape, they immediately blocked that route. I think that might be, Ramya, that might be the
That might
reason
be the
that this
reason. Yes,
is
yes.
not published. I think Indian Army also doesn't want to publish it because it's for the safety of the refugees.
Yeah, to India also they're coming via Nepal. They come to, because they're crossing the Himalayas and coming. So obviously then Nepal government is supporting. So they go to Nepal and then afterwards with the proper whatever possible documentation, they come to India from Nepal.
But it's really difficult for them to start from zero, right? There's nothing. It's very difficult. We can't imagine shifting, me coming from my hometown here and thinking, how do I live in a different city, which is just 6 hours away from my hometown. And I know everything. I know the language. I have relatives here. I can anytime call them, go to their place. I have all facilities. I have friends, but still shifting from one place to another feels that, I'm going somewhere very, very far from my home. And these people, they can't contact them back. It's very, very tough.
It's a true story of resilience. Like we all tell about we should develop resilience and all those. These are the things which the life is teaching them: resilience, the power of silence, power of the strength. Quietly they're doing it. They're suffering. They're living, and everyone they all come with the hope to make it better. But unfortunately, everyone doesn't make it. Also, we know. We look around and we see a lot of Tibetan settlers among us also, and we also don't even pay them the regard also. That's why I want to share this story, that at least people should know those people are reaching here not as refugees, not as nothing. They're coming here they are the survivors. They are not someone to be sympathized, and we should try to, as much as possible, we should try to be nice to them and include them.
Thank you so much, Vinod. Do we have anybody else who wants to share or ask any question?
I'm very curious to ask one more question, Vinod.
Yeah.
Did anything change in you, shift after that?
Yes, certainly. I told one is the first and foremost, understanding them and the kind of how much people are struggling, because in army, yes, that's a different thing. But in civil life, when I saw this kind of a resilience and this kind of a hope, and their hope linked with the faith, I feel it's not only hope, the faith also playing a major role in this. So all those things. But then, yes, that when it happened with the children, I was thinking about the parents also, the parents giving away the child, their mindset and other things. So it really helped you to understand humanity better, like people better. And we look around for our comfort, and we make, we are always concerned about our comfort and all those things. And even the approach also, when we see somebody, we always look at them with a kind of at least, that kind of, we don't misbehave with them, but then still in the mind, we have a kind of a neglect, so kind of a look, chalo, theek hai, kahin se aa gaya, something like that. That has really changed. That is a one thing. Even now, whenever I come over someone, I take time to talk to them, I interact with them. If something happened, like when I learned more about the LGBT community, I started respecting them and dealing with them much better. Because maybe after the course, like the counseling course we did, after that only that approach changed. So here also that changes.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think these kind of incidents actually changes. You were not there in the support group. I was telling how in 2019, when we went to Sri Lanka, so we witnessed a terrorist attack, the Easter bomb blasting. So it kind of totally changed the way I look at life. And we were talking about values also in the previous the support group meet. So that's the reason I asked, because you're from an army background. So we consider or we see you as a strong person, because I asked as a child to my father also, he's a doctor. So I used to think he'll not feel pain because every day they see patients, they cut, they do. This is the kind of mindset that we have, but still they go through emotions. Of course, not now as an adult, but in childhood I used to ask my father. So you don't feel pain for others because every day you see blood and things like that. But yes, and not we are humans and emotional beings. Thank you so much for sharing your story
Yeah.
with us.
Thank you, Rijita, Soumya, and Rimya.